Hey guys, today we're going to go through how to sort your data and how to pick out unique values within your data, right? So let's start with data sorting. When you want to sort the data in your Excel file, you have two options to take care of that, right? You can either use, if you go to the data tab, right? Let's pin this. If you go to the data tab, there's a sort feature under there which you can use to sort your data, or you can even use set up filters which will then allow you to sort your data as well, right? So let's work through this. We'll start first with the data sort feature. So to use the data sort feature, what you want to do is you want to take your data set, right? And here we're going to be working with this orders table, like in our other videos. And here you can see that the data isn't really sorted in any particular order. So let's say we want to sort this data, right, from the oldest date to the most recent date. To do that, we're first going to take our entire data set and highlight it all from top to bottom, right? Then you're going to go over to your ribbon up top and select the data tab. Within the data tab, you'll see over here, almost in the middle, this sort option. Click sort, and now first off, what you want to make sure is that if you do have headers in your data, right, like we have here, the headers or the column names, right, you have this box checked in saying my data has headers. If you don't, then when you go ahead and sort, Excel is going to think that it should sort the header as well, when you don't really want that, right? So once we have this this box checked in because we have headers, then you can go over here, right, and you can first pick where or what you want to sort on. So here in our example, we said we just want to sort by the order date going from the oldest to the most recent, right? So all you have to do is make sure under your sort by, you select your order date or the variable you want to sort by, and then you go under order, the order section, and you can choose oldest to newest or newest to oldest, but we know we want the oldest to newest. So now once we hit OK, Excel's going to sort this starting from the oldest date and going down all the way to the most recent, right? So pay attention. Here we have this April 25th date, May 1st date. These, we won't see them towards the bottom end of the data after we hit OK, right? So now let's click OK, and look at that. So now our headers stayed in place, right, which is what we wanted. That's why we checked that box in. And now it looks like we're going from the oldest date is January 2nd to the most recent date of orders is May 3rd, right? So that's how you use the data tab sort option to sort, right? Now let's say we wanted to sort not just by the date, but now we also want to sort by the category, right? So let's undo what we just did with Control Z, right? So now we're not sorted anymore. You can again highlight your entire data set, go to the data tab, select sort, and now we know we want to order by the order date, and we want to go from the oldest date to the most recent, right? So we select oldest to newest. Now what you can do is we know we also want to sort by the category. So if you see this add level button over here, you click this, and what it's going to do is going to tell Excel, I want to sort by this first, and then I also want to sort by this other thing, right? So if we click add level, you can see Excel is going to sort by first this order date from oldest to newest, which we already had set up, and then you see here then by, let's select category, right? So then by the second criteria you want to sort by, we're going to say category, and now because it's a text field, right, the category is a text field, we can either sort from A to Z or Z to A, right? So here I just want to sort from A to Z. Let's keep it in order, right? So what's going to happen is we're going to see Excel sort this data by date first. So we're going to see the dates starting, the order dates starting from January 2nd down, and then we're also going to see an additional order, an additional sort. If you pay attention to the categories right after the dates are sorted, the categories will also be sorted from A to Z, right? So we know that this garage is going to come before the kitchen and bath category, and we know the kitchen and bath and the garage are both going to come before the outdoors category, right? So let's see what happens once we hit OK. Okay, look at that. So now we're going from oldest date to newest as you go down to most recent as you go down, and then category. It looks like the letter H is the first category in that sort, right? And then from there, Excel even distinguishes these two categories that both start with the letter H. It looks at the second letter afterwards, right? And because HABA, or your health and beauty accessories, starts with is the second letter is an A, that comes before housewares, which its second letter is an O, right? So we've seen how we've seen that the sort feature has some pretty good complexity to it, right? So now let me show you the other way that you can sort, which was using filters. So what we're going to do is we're going to undo this sort, right? So there we go. Okay, so we're unsorted again. Just hit Control Z until we got back to this spot. So now another way which you can sort is using filters. So to use filters, you have to highlight the columns that you want to filter, right? So we're gonna filter. I want to filter every column in this data set, and to me that should be standard practice, right? Because you want all your lines within your data set to stay together, right? If you decide to filter and then sort using filters, if there isn't a filter attached to this column, it will not be included in the sorting, right? So you need to make sure, as a standard practice, when you filter, I always set the filter when I'm going to sort across all the columns or the column headers for my data set, right? So let me show you. To get these filters going, you just select or you highlight your column headers, then again go to the data tab, and next to sort you have the filter option, right? All you have to do is click that filter option and the filters pop up. You can get rid of the filters by clicking on the filter option again, right? Alright, so once you have the filters up, if you click into the little filter arrow, here you can select how you want to filter to view your data, right? So maybe you want to look at a specific date or whatever, but in addition to filtering, you can also sort using filters, right? So the filter option lets you sort from oldest to newest, sort from newest to oldest, and you can even sort by color. In our case though, we don't want to sort by color, we want to sort from the oldest date to the most recent. So all we have to do is just click on this option over here, and now our data is sorted in order from the oldest to the most recent. So that's how you can sort data, either using the data sort feature or with the data filters feature. The next part of this video, we're going to go through how to pull out unique values from within a column that has repeating values. So for this example, we're going to work with the category column because the category is repeating every time there's a sale for a new date, right? So we want to see what are the unique categories in this data set. So I personally like to copy the entire column that I want to pull unique values from, and then I like to do the work, right? Paste it into a new tab where I will filter for those unique values. So in order to filter for those unique values, what you first have to do is highlight the entire column. After you have the entire column highlighted, go back to the data tab up on top of your ribbon, and then next to the filter button you'll see this advanced option or button. This is the advanced filter, and this is what we're going to use to filter for unique values. So we'll click on this advanced and we get this advanced filter screen. Here you have a few different options. You can filter the list in its place, which I'm not a huge fan of. I usually like to filter the list and copy the new values or the unique values that I want to filter for to a new spot, right? Say column C, column D, column E, whatever you choose. I'm gonna click here, copy to another location, and then I want it copied to, I have to specify in this box where I want the results copied to. So I'm gonna select column C, and then finally I'm gonna click this button down here, make sure it's checked, where I only want unique records filtered and dropped in this results range. So now once I click OK, we should see only one instance of each unique category populate in column C. So I hit OK. Let's go back to the top. Now check this out. Now we have, under this category where we pulled out the unique values, now we only have one instance of each category. So HABA, or your health and beauty category, isn't repeated anymore throughout this list like it is originally here. And the same goes for outdoors, where outdoors is repeated multiple times for each order date in this list. Now it's just a unique value. So this is good because if I want to understand what the unique values are within a certain column, I can just use, again, under the data tab, the advanced filter to pull out the unique values, and then I can understand understand the data I'm working with. So that's it, folks. That's how you filter for unique values. So now you have two new tools under your arsenal for which you can reference and you can go back and use. That'll help you in your data manipulations, and it helps basically prep for once you want to start thinking about how you're going to set up your reporting, right? So for example, if just by filtering for unique values under the category, now I know exactly how many categories I'm working with in my data set. So now I know how I might want to set up my report, right? Since I only have a handful of categories, maybe I do my manipulation, say in this sheet now, I can set up going from left to right for each category, because I know I won't take up much space over to the right, and it won't be like my reports, 500 columns deep, because I only have a handful of categories. If, for example, when I filter for unique values from the category list, instead of having the 6 categories I have now, if I have 22 categories, maybe my thought is, let me not build the report from left to right for categories. Let me do the category from top to bottom, and then just do the sales and units by week from left to right. So essentially, these data manipulations and the sorting helps you get an understanding, right, of what the data you're working with is, so then you can build reporting from that accordingly. But anyways, let me not make this video go on for too much longer. You guys already know what the deal is. Just leave me anything you need clarified or any more questions you might have. Just drop a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Like always, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and then I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.